If you can hear my voice, do not, I repeat, do not open your windows. Do not go outside to check the weather. Do not trust the silence. Stay inside. Seal the cracks under your doors with towels. Tape up the edges of your windows. If you have a basement, get down there now. Bring every blanket, every coat, every scrap of fabric you own. My name is Elias Thorne. I'm broadcasting on this emergency frequency because the main channels are dead. The television stations went to static about an hour ago. The internet is a graveyard. I don't know who is left to listen, but if you are turning that dial and you found me, listen close. I'm going to keep talking as long as the generator holds out, and as long as my fingers can still move. It's 3 p.m. It should be the middle of the afternoon. It should be bright. But I'm looking out the reinforced glass of this booth, and it looks like twilight. The sky isn't gray. It's a color I've never seen before. It's a bruised, sickly purple, like a hematoma spreading across the horizon. And the snow? It's not falling. It's driving. It's coming down in sheets so thick I can't see the building across the street anymore. That building is only 50 feet away. Let me tell you what the thermometer says. I have an external sensor on the roof. I watched it this morning. At 8 a.m., it was 45 degrees Fahrenheit, a normal, crisp autumn morning. By 10 a.m., it was freezing, 0 degrees. 2 hours, 45 degrees lost. That's not weather. That's impossible. That's something breaking. Right now, the sensor is reading -40. I thought the sensor was broken. I really did. I went to the backup analog thermometer I keep mounted outside the window, the old-fashioned kind with the red liquid inside. The liquid is huddled at the very bottom of the bulb. It stopped moving 20 minutes ago because it bottomed out. -40 in 6 hours. The scary part isn't the cold, though. It's the speed. You know how when you open a freezer door, that little puff of white mist comes out? Imagine that, but everywhere. The atmosphere is just quitting. I want to tell you how this started, just in case someone writes this down later, in case we make it through this night. It wasn't the news that tipped me off. The news was useless. They were talking about unprecedented pressure fronts and polar anomalies, just big words for we don't know. No, the first thing I noticed was the birds. I was walking into the station early this morning. The air felt heavy, static, like before a thunderstorm. And suddenly, the sky was full of them. Geese, crows, sparrows, everything. They weren't flying in a V formation. They weren't migrating. They were fleeing. They were smashing into windows, diving into alleyways, terrified. It was like they were running from a fire, but the fire was invisible cold. I saw a pigeon drop out of the air right in front of me, just fell, stone dead. I nudged it with my boot. It was stiff. It had frozen mid-air. That was the moment my stomach dropped. That primal part of your brain, the part that remembers when we lived in caves, it woke up and screamed, "Run!" I ran inside, locked the heavy steel door of the studio, and turned on the scanners. That's when I heard the chatter. Not the public news, but the emergency bands. The police, the fire departments, the utility workers. Usually those channels are a mess of noise, traffic accidents, cats in trees, false alarms. Today, panic. Pure, distilled panic. I heard a frantic voice from a patrol car, maybe near the highway interchange. He was shouting that cars were stopping, not crashing, stopping. The engines were seizing up. The fuel lines were freezing instantly while people were driving 60 miles per hour. He said, "They're just rolling to a halt, dispatch. Everyone is stopping, and nobody is getting out of their cars. Tell them not to get out." Then his radio cut with this sharp cracking sound, like plastic snapping. I think his antenna shattered. I tried to call my sister in Denver. The call connected for a second. She was crying. She said the power went out. She said the windows were making noises. Popping sounds, she said. The glass is screaming, Elias. That was the last thing she said before the line went dead. The glass is screaming. thermal shock. That's what happens when glass gets too cold too fast. It contracts and shatters. If you have big windows, stay away from them. If they break, that cold air will hit you like a physical punch. It will freeze the moisture in your lungs in seconds. You need to create a room within a room. Go to a closet. Go to a bathroom with no windows. Drag your mattress in there. Build a fort, just like you were when you were a kid. But this isn't a game. The smaller the space, the easier it is to heat with your own body warmth. I have a guest here in the studio with me. Well, not a guest exactly. He's the security guard for the building. His name is Marcus. Marcus is a big guy, tough, used to be in the Marines. He's sitting in the corner right now, wrapped in a wool blanket, staring at the floor. He went out about an hour ago to check the generator on the roof. He was only outside for 3 minutes. He came back in, shaking so hard his teeth sounded like dice in a cup. He told me the metal handle of the roof door burned his hand through his glove. He showed me his glove. The leather had cracked and peeled away. 3 minutes. He said the air up there. He said it felt thick, like breathing syrup. It hurts to breathe. It feels like swallowing glass. Marcus says the city below us is gone. Not destroyed, just erased. The whiteout is so total you can't see the streetlights. You can't see the traffic signals. It's just a wall of white swirling violently. We are on the 10th floor here. We have food in the vending machines. We have the backup generator, which is chugging away. I can feel the vibration of it in the floor. It's the most beautiful feeling in the world right now. As long as that vibration is there, we have heat. If that stops, well, I won't lie to you. We have maybe an hour before this room becomes a freezer. I'm looking at the signal monitors. The other stations are dropping off one by one. The classical music station went silent 10 minutes ago. The pop station is just a looping emergency tone. I think the transmitters are freezing over. The ice is too heavy for the towers. They're snapping. I'm going to keep talking. I need you to know you're not alone. That's the most dangerous thing right now. The feeling that you're the only one left. You aren't. I'm here. Marcus is here. There are people all over this city, all over this country, hiding in basements, huddled under blankets, holding their kids tight. We are all doing the exact same thing. We are waiting. Waiting for what? I don't know. For the sun? For the government? Speaking of the government, I haven't heard a peep from the emergency broadcast system in 40 minutes. The last update was an automated voice. It just listed counties. It listed every single county in the state, and then it said, "Shelter in place, extreme cold event, do not travel." Extreme cold event. That's polite, isn't it? It sounds like a bad ski weekend. This isn't an event. This is a shift. This is the planet changing its mind. I have a theory. I'm no scientist. I'm just a guy with a microphone and a lot of time to read. But I've read about the Atlantic currents, the warm water that comes up from the equator and keeps us from freezing. They said if that current stopped, the temperature would drop. But they said it would take years, decades. Maybe they were wrong. Maybe nature doesn't work on our schedule. Maybe it's like a rubber band. You stretch it and stretch it and stretch it, and it looks fine, until snap. The snap happened this morning. I want to read you a text message I got right before the cell networks collapsed. It's from a listener named Sarah. Sarah, if you can hear this, I hope you're okay. She wrote, "Elias, I'm in the subway station. The train stopped. The lights are flickering. People are screaming because the rats are coming up from the tracks. Hundreds of them. They're running up the stairs to get away from the tunnels. The tunnels must be freezing first. We're huddled on the platform. It's getting so cold. My phone is dying. Tell my mom I love her." The rats knew first, just like the birds. If you are in a subway or a tunnel, you might think you are safe because you're underground. But remember, cold air is heavy. It sinks. It flows down stairwells like water.
If you are underground, you need to block the entrances. Stuff jackets, trash, anything into the cracks of the doors leading up to the street. Do not let that heavy, cold air flow down to you. It will fill the tunnel like a swimming pool of ice. It's getting darker outside. I can barely see the window frame now. The wind is howling. It sounds like a train whistle that won't stop. A high, shrieking note. It's shaking the glass. I'm sitting here praying that the glass holds. It's double-paned, reinforced, meant to withstand high winds. But -40? -50? The wood of the desk I'm sitting at is cold to the touch. The heat is on full blast, but the cold is seeping through the walls. It's radiating from the concrete. It's a relentless pressure. I'm going to check the feeds again. Wait, I'm seeing something on the military band. It's encrypted, mostly static, but a voice just broke through. A pilot. It sounds like a pilot. He's shouting, "Mayday! Controls are sluggish. The hydraulics are solidifying. I can't... The wings are icing up. I'm punching out. I'm punching out."
I am back. I am still here. I had to put on my coat. It's a heavy parka I usually leave in the back of the car for emergencies. I never thought I'd be wearing it inside the studio. The zipper was so cold it stung my fingers when I pulled it up. I can see my breath now. Every time I speak, a cloud of white steam hits the microphone. The pop filter, that black foam cover on the mic, is starting to get stiff with frost from my own breath. It's freezing as soon as the air leaves my mouth. Marcus and I managed to find some fuel. We found a stash of isopropyl alcohol in the cleaning closet. It burns clean and it burns hot. We poured some into a metal trash can in the hallway. It's a small fire, a blue flame dancing in the dark, but it's something. Marcus is huddled over it. He looks like a statue. He's staring into the flame like it's the only thing left in the universe. In a way, it is. The window to my left is gone. Not broken, it's just white. The frost didn't form in little patterns like ferns or flowers. It just slammed onto the glass like white paint, a solid sheet. I can't see the street anymore. I can't see the building across the way. We are entombed in here. It feels like we are in a submarine at the bottom of a frozen ocean. I promised you I would tell you what I know. Before the internet died completely, I saw a thread on a forum. It was from a guy who claimed to work at the observatory in Chile, high-altitude place. He said they saw the sun do something. He didn't use big words. He just said the sun blinked. He said for a fraction of a second, the output dropped. Just a hiccup, a burp in the star that keeps us alive. He said the magnetic shield that protects Earth, it buckled. It didn't break, but it bent. And when it bent, the space, the absolute zero of space, leaked in. It poured into the upper atmosphere like water into a sinking ship. That's why the pilots are crashing. They aren't flying through air anymore. They are flying through a vacuum of cold that shouldn't exist this low. It's just a theory. I don't know if it's true, but it feels true, doesn't it? It feels like the door to the outside was left open. I'm looking at the audio levels. There's a weird hum on the line, a low, thrumming frequency. I think it's the ground. The ground is freezing so deep, so fast, that the bedrock is shifting. The earth is shivering. Can you feel it? Put your hand on the floor. If you were in a basement, put your hand on the concrete wall. You might feel a vibration. That is the crust of the planet tightening. We just lost the heater. I'm watching the light on the control panel. It just flickered and died. The hum of the ventilation system stopped. The silence rushed back in. The generator is still running the broadcast equipment, thank God for dedicated circuits, but the building's main heating loop just failed. That means the clock is ticking faster now. I have a handheld radio here, a walkie-talkie scanning the local bands. I picked up a voice about 5 minutes ago while the song was playing. It was a woman. She sounded young, maybe 20. She said her name was Chloe. She's in a high-rise apartment on the west side. Chloe, if you are listening, I am sharing your story so others can learn. Chloe said she looked down from her balcony before the windows iced over. She saw people running into the grocery store on 5th Street, but they weren't taking food. They were taking the cardboard boxes the food came in. They were dumping cans of soup on the floor just to get the cardboard. She said, "Elias, they are fighting over trash. They are wrapping themselves in bubble wrap and cardboard." That is smart. Listen to me, that is actually smart. If you don't have blankets, use paper, use newspaper. Crumple it up and stuff it inside your shirt. Stuff it down your pant legs. Air pockets trap heat. Cardboard is an incredible insulator. If you're in a house with a lot of books, don't just burn them. Build with them. Stack them against the drafty cracks. Make a wall of paper. Chloe also said she saw the police cars. They were just sitting there in the middle of the intersection, lights flashing blue and red, but no sirens. She said she saw an officer sitting in the driver's seat. He wasn't moving. The car was running, but he wasn't moving. The exhaust pipe was buried in a snowdrift. Please, check your exhaust pipes. If you are in a car, you must clear the tailpipe every 10 or 15 minutes. If the snow covers it, the carbon monoxide backs up into the cabin. You will fall asleep and you won't wake up. It's a gentle death, but it is death. We need you alive. It's getting harder to type on my keyboard. My fingers are stiff. My knuckles ache. I have to stop every few minutes to blow hot air into my cupped hands. The metal of the microphone stand is painful to touch. It burns cold. I want to talk about the noise outside again. The wind has changed. It's not a whistle anymore. It's a roar. It sounds like a jet engine parked right outside the window. A constant, deep bass rumble. It's the sound of megatons of air moving at high speed. I remember reading about the storms on Jupiter, the Great Red Spot, a storm that lasts for centuries. I wonder if that's what this is, a storm that won't end. Don't think like that, Elias. Focus. Okay, I have a report from a listener who managed to get a signal out on a short wave band. This is from a trucker named Miller. He's stuck on the I-90 pass. He says he's in his cab with the engine idling. He says he can see the other trucks around him. Miller says the tires are shattering. Think about that. Rubber tires. The cold is making the rubber so brittle that the weight of the trucks is crushing them like glass. He says he heard a pop, looked in his mirror, and his rear tires were just shards of black, jagged rubber on the road. The rims are sitting on the asphalt. He says the fuel in his tank is turning to gel. He's mixing in brake fluid, alcohol, anything he has to keep it liquid. He says there's a family in a sedan next to him. He drilled a hole in the side of his cab and ran a hose from his heater vent to their car window. He's sharing his heat. Miller, you are a hero. If you can hear me, you are a good man. That is what we need. We need to be connected, literally connected. If you are in an apartment building, don't stay in your separate units. Go to the hallway. The hallway has no windows. Gather everyone on the floor. Sit close together. Body heat from 20 people can warm a hallway up to survivable temperatures. Don't be shy. Don't be polite. Knock on your neighbor's door. If they don't answer, try the handle. They might be too cold to move. Drag them out. Pile together like puppies in a box. It's dignity or death, and I choose life. My breath is coming out in heavy clouds now. I feel sleepy. That's bad. That's the first sign of hypothermia, the slowdown, the brain getting fuzzy. I need to stand up. I'm standing up now. I'm going to do some squats while I talk. I know it sounds ridiculous hearing a guy on the radio do exercise, but I need to generate heat. 1, 2, 3. Okay, blood is moving. Let's talk about water. If your pipes haven't burst yet, they will. Fill your bathtub. Fill every pot and pan. Fill the sink. When the pipes freeze, you won't get any more water. And you can't eat snow. Do not eat snow. I know that sounds wrong. Snow is water, right? But eating snow lowers your core temperature drastically. Your body has to spend precious energy melting that ice inside your stomach. It will kill you faster than dehydration.
If you have to drink snow, you must melt it first. Put it in a pot, put it near your body heat, melt it before it touches your lips. I'm looking at the map on the wall, the big map of the city. I used to look at it to check traffic for the morning commute. I'd say, avoid the downtown connector. Traffic is backed up to the bridge. It seems so silly now. Traffic, work, deadlines. I was worried about my tax return yesterday. I was stressed because I hadn't filed my taxes. Who cares? The IRS is probably freezing just like the rest of us. The slate is wiped clean. All our little problems, all our debts, our arguments, the cold took them. Now there is only one problem: heat. There is a loud cracking sound coming from the ceiling. It sounds like someone is walking on the roof with heavy boots. Crack! Boom! That's the roof trusses contracting. The metal beams are shrinking in the cold. I hope the bolts hold. If the roof collapses, well, let's not think about that. I'm gonna try to reach the emergency services band again. I'm turning the dial. Static. Static. More static. Wait, there's a repeating tone on channel 9. It's Morse code. Beep, 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 beep. I know a little Morse code from my Boy Scout days. Let me try to translate. Okay, standard call for help. But there is more. Shelter. Shelter failed. Underground. This signal is coming from the city emergency bunker, the one under the city hall. They are saying the bunker failed. If the bunker failed, if the place designed to survive a nuclear war couldn't handle the cold, then we really are on our own. The bunker probably relied on external air intakes. The ice must have blocked them, or the generators froze. This is a lesson. Do not rely on the big systems. The big systems are fragile. Your house, your room, your blankets, that is your system now. Make it strong. I'm feeling a draft, a cold slice of air cutting across my ankles. I need to find where...
I am back. I am breathing. The red light is on. Marcus is okay. Well, he is alive. I found him leaning too close to the fire. His coat was starting to smoke. The heat had melted the synthetic fabric of his sleeve, but he didn't even feel it. That's what the cold does. It numbs you. It takes away the pain right before it takes away your life. I had to shake him hard. I had to slap his face to wake him up. He looked at me with these glassy, confused eyes, like he didn't know who I was. He asked me if it was summer yet. "Is it summer, Elias?" he asked me. I lied. I told him it was almost there. I told him to drink some water and stand up. We did 10 jumping jacks together in the hallway, next to a trash can fire, while the building groaned around us. You need to watch each other. I cannot stress this enough. If you are with someone, you are their lifeline. Watch their eyes. If they get glossy, if they stop shivering, that is the danger zone. Shivering is good. Shivering means your body is fighting. If the shivering stops but they aren't warm, you have to wake them up, scream at them, pinch them. Do not let them fade out. The studio is changing. There is something happening in the air right here in the room. It's sparkling. Tiny, glittering dust is floating in the air. It looks like magic, but it's not. It's called diamond dust. It's humidity in the air freezing instantly into microscopic ice crystals. It's snowing inside the room. That's how cold it is. The moisture from my own breath is freezing before it hits the floor. I'm looking at the glass of the control booth. It's not just frosted anymore. It's cracking. A spiderweb fracture just appeared in the corner of the main window. It made a sound like a gunshot. Pop. If that window goes, the wind comes in. If the wind comes in, the equipment freezes. If the equipment freezes, I go silent. If I go silent, do not lose hope. It just means the machine failed. It doesn't mean I gave up. It doesn't mean you should give up. You keep going. You keep that fire burning. I managed to catch a signal from a handheld radio, very faint, coming from the north side. It was a paramedic. He was barricaded inside an ambulance. He said he was parked outside the big hospital, St. Jude's. He said the hospital is dark. The backup generators at the hospital were on the roof. They weren't covered. The intake valves iced over in the first hour. He said he saw nurses trying to move patients into the hallways, away from the windows, but there are too many. He said the oxygen tanks are freezing, the valves are snapping off. He was crying. He said we can't help them. We can't even get the doors open to get them out. It's a hard thing to hear. The places we go for safety, hospitals, police stations, shelters, they are just buildings. They are made of concrete and glass and pipes, and physics doesn't care if it's a hospital. Physics only cares about temperature. This is why you stay home. Do not try to go to a public shelter unless you are 100% sure it is operational. You are safer in your bedroom with a pile of blankets than you are in a gymnasium with a broken heater and 500 panicked people. I want to talk about something nobody talks about in the movies: waste. If the pipes freeze, the toilets don't work. It's gross, I know, but we have to be real. You cannot use the bathroom in the house if the water isn't running. It will back up. It will create a health hazard. And right now, with no doctors, an infection is a death sentence. Bag it. Use trash bags, bucket, whatever you have. Put it outside. Immediate freezing will sanitize it in a way. Just get it out of your living space. Keep your area clean. Hygiene is morale. If you feel dirty, you feel defeated. Wash your face with a damp cloth if you can spare the water. Brush your teeth. Feel human. I found a sandwich in my bag. Ham and cheese. I made it this morning. It feels like 1,000 years ago. I tried to take a bite, but the bread was hard as a rock. The ham was like a shard of plastic. I had to put the sandwich inside my shirt against my skin to thaw it out. It took 20 minutes to warm up a sandwich enough to eat. That is our new reality. You have to plan your meals 20 minutes in advance just to thaw them. Don't eat cold food. It sucks the heat right out of your core. Your stomach is a furnace. Don't dump ice into the furnace. I'm looking at the monitors again. There is a weird fluctuation in the static. It's rhythmic, almost like a pulse. It's coming from the ionosphere. I remember a professor I interviewed once, Dr. Aris. He studied the sun. He told me that the sun has cycles. He said that every few thousand years, the sun goes into a minimum, a deep sleep. He said if it happened, the magnetic wind that protects us would drop. He said the upper atmosphere would shrink, it would collapse downward. That's what I think is happening. The sky is falling. Literally. The heavy, cold vacuum of space is pressing down on us, squeezing the air, crushing the heat out of the world. That's why the barometer is going crazy. The pressure is skyrocketing. My ears popped a few minutes ago, like I was in an airplane descending. If your ears hurt, that's why. Swallow hard, yawn, equalize the pressure. We are under the weight of the sky. I have a report from a guy named Frank on the CB radio. Frank is a long-haul trucker, but he's at home in Ohio. He says he has a wood stove. Smart man. He says he's been burning his fence. He went out to get wood, and he saw a deer, a buck, standing in his yard. He said the deer was just standing there, frozen solid, not dead on the ground, standing up, flash frozen mid-step. Frank said it looked like a statue, Elias. It was beautiful, and it was terrifying. It didn't even have time to fall. That is the speed we're dealing with. If the wind hits you, it strips the heat away instantly. It's not like a normal winter day where you get cold gradually. This is a flash freeze. Do not go outside, even if you think you have good gear. Unless you're dressed like an astronaut or an Arctic explorer, do not risk it. You have enough air in your house for days. Don't open the door to check the depth of the snow. Look out a window. If the window is blocked, assume the snow is deep. I'm going to check the generator again. I can hear the engine sputtering, a little cough in the rhythm. It's missing a beat. Chug, chug, clunk, chug. That clunk scares me more than anything. If that generator dies, I have battery backups for the console, but the transmitter on the roof needs high voltage. If the generator dies, my voice dies. If I disappear, do not think I'm dead. Just think I'm working on it. I'm fixing it. I'm fighting. And you keep fighting too. I want you to think about tomorrow morning. I want you to visualize the sun coming up. Even if it's weak, even if it's cold, the sun will rise. The Earth is still spinning, gravity is still working, the laws of the universe haven't broken, just the weather. We just have to outlast the night. I'm going to play a recording I have on the hard drive. It's not music, it's the sound of a rainstorm in summer. I recorded it last July. Thunder, heavy rain on pavement, crickets. Close your eyes. Listen to the rain. Remember what heat feels like. Remember sticky humidity. Remember mosquitoes. I never thought I'd miss mosquitoes, but I'd give anything to slap a mosquito right now. Here is the rain. Stay warm. I'm going to see why the generator is coughing. This is Elias Thorne. Stand by. I am back at the desk. I am back at the microphone. I hope you are still there. I hope the silence didn't scare you. We saved the generator. For now. But it was close. Too close. Marcus and I had to go up to the maintenance level, not the roof. God, no. We can't go to the roof anymore. That would be suicide. We went to the intake room just below the roof. The noise in there. It sounded like the building was being chewed on by a giant animal. The wind was hammering against the metal louvers, trying to punch its way in. The oil in the generator engine was getting too thick. It was turning into molasses. The pump couldn't move it. That's why it was sputtering. We had to thin it out. We didn't have any engine additives, so we used what we had. We poured a bottle of kerosene into the oil reservoir. It's a mechanic's trick. It's risky. It might burn the pistons eventually, but we don't need this engine to last for 10 years. We need it to last for 10 hours. When I took the cap off the oil tank, the metal burned my fingers through my gloves. I felt it instantly, a sharp, stinging pain like a bee sting. The cold is soaking into everything. The steel beams of this building are acting like a bridge, carrying the cold from the outside right into the core of the structure. The walls are radiating cold. You can feel it standing 3 feet away. It feels like standing next to a block of dry ice. Marcus is exhausted. He sat down on the floor of the generator room and I had to drag him up. He wanted to sleep. He said the hum of the engine sounded like a lullaby. That is the siren song of hypothermia. It tells you everything is fine. It tells you to just close your eyes for a second. It lies to you. I walked him back to the hallway, back to our little trash can fire. I made him drink a cup of warm water mixed with a packet of sugar I found in my pocket. Sugar is energy. Energy is heat. If you have candy, chocolate, sugar packets, eat them. Don't save them. Your body is running a marathon right now, just sitting in a chair. You need fuel. I want to tell you what I saw through a crack in the boarded-up window in the hallway. I peeked out, just for a second. The city is gone. I don't mean destroyed. I mean it's invisible. The whiteout is so thick it looks like milk. I couldn't see the ground. I couldn't see the sky. I just saw swirling white chaos. But I saw something else. Blue flashes. Down near the ground in the white mist, I saw bright blue pops of light. Zap! Zap! I think those are power transformers exploding, or maybe power lines snapping and arcing. The grid is dying hard. It's fighting, but the ice is too heavy. Every time I saw a blue flash, I knew a few thousand more people just lost their heat. If the power goes out in your house, do not panic. You have time. The house holds heat. It's like a battery. It will stay warm for a while. But you have to consolidate. Move everyone into one room, the smallest room. Put a tent up in the living room if you have one. If you don't have a tent, make one. Drapes, sheets, blankets over a table. I'm looking at the chat logs on the computer. They are frozen from an hour ago, but I'm rereading them. There's one from a guy named David in the suburbs. He said, "The trees are exploding." That's a real thing. It's called frost cracking. The sap inside the tree freezes and expands, and the wood just splits open with a sound like a rifle shot. If you hear gunshots outside, it's probably not people fighting. It's the trees dying. Don't go to the window to look. Stay low. I have a map here on the wall, a map of the jet stream. I drew on it earlier with a red marker. Usually, the jet stream is a wavy line that keeps the cold air up north. Today, that line is gone. It just broke. The cold air from the Arctic didn't just leak down, it fell down. It collapsed. We are technically inside the Arctic Circle right now, atmospherically speaking. The North Pole has moved to us. I'm rubbing my hands together. You can probably hear it. Swish, swish. Friction. I'm trying to keep the feeling in my fingertips. Typing is getting hard. I have to look at the keys to make sure I'm hitting the right ones because I can't feel the plastic anymore. I want to share a trick I learned from a homeless man I interviewed years ago. His name was Old Jack. He lived on the streets for 20 years. He told me, "Elias, if you're freezing, put your hands in your armpits. It's the warmest part of the body, or between your legs." It's not dignified, but it works. If your hands are numb, jam them into your armpits. Cross your arms and hold tight. Save your fingers. You need your fingers to open cans. You need your fingers to strike matches. We are entering the deep night now. The sun set hours ago, but it feels like it's been dark for weeks. The psychological weight of the dark is heavy. I feel it pressing on my chest. It's anxiety. It's the fear of the unknown. But listen to my voice. I am real. I am here. The signal is traveling through the air at the speed of light. It is punching through the snow. It is finding you. That means the laws of physics are still working. The world hasn't ended. It's just changing. I'm going to check the frequency scanner. I'm searching for anything. There. Channel 14. It's very scratchy. It sounds like singing. Yes, it's a group of people singing. It sounds like a church choir, or maybe just a family. They're singing Amazing Grace. It's off-key. They sound terrified, but they are singing loud. That is the most beautiful thing I have ever heard. They are fighting the roar of the wind with a melody. If you are alone, sing, hum. Talk to yourself. Narrate your actions. I am picking up the water bottle. I am taking a drink. It keeps your brain engaged. It stops the drift. The drift is dangerous. The drift is when you start staring at a wall and you lose track of time. You think 5 minutes passed, but it's been an hour, and in that hour, the fire went out. Stay sharp. I'm looking at the thermometer in the studio. It's an old analog dial on the wall. It says it's 40 degrees in here. 40. That's refrigerator temperature. We are sitting inside a refrigerator. I can see my breath clouding up the glass of the booth. I'm going to have to wipe it soon. It's freezing into a thin layer of rime ice on the inside of the window. I remember reading about the station in Antarctica, Vostok Station, the coldest place on Earth. The scientists there wear heated suits. They have triple-paned windows. They're trained for months. We are just regular people. We are teachers and plumbers and accountants. We have jeans and hoodies. And yet, we are still here. We are adapting. Humans are stubborn. That is our best quality right now. Be stubborn. Refuse to freeze. I have a note here to mention pets again. If you have a dog and it needs to go to the bathroom, do not let it outside. I repeat, do not let it outside. It will freeze its paws in seconds. Use the garage. Use the bathroom floor and clean it up later. A dog can die in 2 minutes in this wind. And watch your pets for signs of cold. If they curl up tight and won't move, put them in the bed with you. Put them under the covers. They are little heaters. Use them. I'm feeling a vibration in the floor. It's a low rumble. It's not the generator. It's coming from the ground. I think it's a train. A freight train? Moving in this? No, it's not moving. The rumble is stationary. It might be the engines of a train idling on the tracks a few miles away. A big diesel locomotive has a massive engine. Maybe the engineer is keeping it running to stay warm. If you're near the train tracks and you hear an engine, go to it. But be careful.
The metal of the train will be deadly cold. Do not touch it the outside with bare skin. You will stick to it. Your skin will rip off. But inside the cab of a locomotive, that might be the warmest place in the city right now. I'm taking a sip of water. I have to keep the water bottle inside my jacket now. Body heat is the only microwave we have. The water tastes metallic. It tastes like fear. Or maybe that's just the blood in my mouth. My lips are chapped and cracking. I want to talk about the morning. When the sun comes up, it's going to be bright. The snow reflects sunlight. It amplifies it. If the clouds break, it will be blinding. Snow blindness is real. It burns your retinas. If you go out tomorrow, you need sunglasses, or poke 2 tiny holes in a piece of cardboard and look through that. Makeshift goggles. But that's a problem for tomorrow. Tonight, the problem is the dark. I'm going to read a poem. Just a short one. I found it in a book on the shelf here. It's by Robert Frost. Funny name for tonight, right? The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Promises to keep. You have promises. You promised your kids you'd keep them safe. You promised your mom you'd call. You promised yourself you'd grow old. Keep those promises. The wind just slammed into the building again. The whole structure shuddered. I saw the dust fall from the ceiling tiles. The lights flickered. The grid is fighting.
The jazz is over. The needle is just scratching against the paper label of the record now. Scritch, scritch. I should take it off, but I don't want to move. I don't want to leave this chair. The chair is warm because I'm in it. If I stand up, I lose that heat. It dissipates into the air in seconds. It is getting harder to think. My thoughts feel like they're moving through syrup. I have to concentrate just to form a sentence. If I start slurring my words, don't panic. It just means my jaw is stiff. It's hard to move my mouth. I want to tell you about the noise I just heard. It wasn't the wind. It sounded like a cannon going off inside the earth. A deep, resonant boom that shook the coffee cup right off my desk. It shattered on the floor. That is called a cryoseism, a frostquake. It happens when the groundwater freezes so fast and expands so violently that it splits the rock and soil apart. The earth is literally cracking open under our feet. If you hear those booms, don't run outside. It's not bombs. It's not an attack. It's the ground giving up. I'm looking at the coffee cup shards on the floor. I'm not going to pick them up. It takes too much energy. Energy is currency. Every calorie you burn picking up a piece of trash is a calorie you don't have to keep your heart beating. Leave the mess. Let the house be messy. Survival is messy. I just checked the internal thermometer again. 35 degrees. We lost 5 degrees in the last hour. The walls are losing the battle. The heat from the generator isn't enough to fight the cold pressing in from the outside. It's like trying to heat a warehouse with a candle. I can see the frost line moving up the wall. It's like a tide, a white fuzzy line creeping up from the baseboards. Where the frost touches, the paint is peeling. It's curling up and flaking off. Marcus is awake again, thank God. He's tearing up cardboard boxes from the storage room. He's taping them to the walls. He's making a second skin for the room. He's a smart guy. He knows that layers are everything. Layers. Let's talk about clothes. If you are wearing jeans, take them off. Denim is cotton. Cotton is the enemy. In survival training, they have a saying, cotton kills. Cotton absorbs moisture. It holds your sweat against your skin. And then that wet cotton turns into a sheet of ice. It sucks the heat out of you nearly 300 times faster than dry air. If you have wool, wear wool. If you have fleece, wear fleece. If you have polyester, wear that. If you don't have anything but jeans, put pajama pants underneath them. Create an air gap, or stuff newspaper down your legs like I said before. Do not let tight cotton touch your skin. I have a report from the coast, a weak signal from a boat captain who is grounded near the harbor. He says the ocean is steaming. It's called sea smoke. The water is still relatively warm compared to the air. The air is so cold, maybe -60, maybe -70, that when it touches the water instantly evaporates into fog. He says it looks like the ocean is boiling. He also said the waves are sluggish. He said they look like oil. They're rolling in slow motion because the water is turning into slush, slurry. Imagine that, the Atlantic Ocean turning into a Slurpee. I'm trying to stay lighthearted, but it's hard. I'm scared. I'll be honest with you, I'm terrified. My feet are numb. I can't feel my toes inside my boots. I'm wiggling them constantly, but there is no sensation. That's bad. That means the blood is retreated. My body is pulling all the blood to my core to keep my heart and lungs working. It's sacrificing the extremities. If your toes are numb, do not put them in hot water. Do not hold them directly against a fire. You will burn yourself and you won't even feel it. Warm them slowly. Put them against another person's stomach. Put them in your own armpits if you're flexible enough. Slow heat. Gentle heat. I'm looking at the city camera feed. Most of the cameras are dead, frozen solid. But one, a traffic camera inside a tunnel, is still working. The tunnel is full of cars, bumper to bumper. People tried to hide in there, but I don't see any movement. The exhaust fumes in an enclosed space with the ends of the tunnel blocked by snowdrifts. I'm going to turn that monitor off. I don't want to see that. We have to focus on the living. If you're listening to me, you are alive. You are winning. Every second you breathe is a victory against the universe. The universe wants us to be 0 degrees. That is the natural state of things. Heat is an act of rebellion. So be a rebel. Stay warm. I found a candy bar in the desk drawer. It was hard as a brick. I had to smash it on the table to break it into pieces. I'm sucking on a piece of chocolate now. It tastes like wax, but the sugar is hitting my bloodstream. I can feel a little spark of alertness. Check your pantry. Do you have peanut butter? Peanut butter is gold. High fat, high calorie. You don't need to cook it. You can eat it with a spoon. A jar of peanut butter can keep you alive for a week. If you have honey, eat that too. Pure energy. Don't drink alcohol. I know it's tempting. I know you want to take the edge off, but alcohol dilates your blood vessels. It makes you feel warm because the warm blood rushes to your skin, but that just means you're losing heat faster. It's a trick. Alcohol will kill you tonight. Drink water, drink juice. Save the whiskey for when the summer comes back. If the summer comes back. Stop it, Elias. It will come back. It has to. I'm going to check the frequency scanner again. There's a voice on the police band. It's not a dispatcher. It sounds like a frantic officer. He's barricaded in a precinct. They're breaking in. Dispatch, we have looters. They're smashing the doors. Looters? In this weather? People are desperate. They're not stealing TVs. Nobody cares about a TV tonight. They're stealing coats. They're stealing propane tanks. They're stealing boots. If you hear someone outside your house, do not open the door. I don't care who it is. Unless you know their voice, unless it's family, keep that door locked. Desperation makes people do terrible things. A freezing man will kill you for your jacket. It's not malice, it's survival instinct. It's the lizard brain taking over. Stay quiet. Turn off your flashlights if you hear people outside. Make the house look empty. I hate saying that. I hate telling you to be afraid of your neighbors, but tonight is not about community. Tonight is about the pack. Protect your pack. The wind is picking up again. It's making a new sound. It's not a roar anymore. It's a scream. A high-pitched, tearing sound. That's the sound of the wind shearing around the corners of the building at over 100 miles an hour. The building is groaning. I can hear the steel skeleton shifting. It sounds like a submarine diving too deep. Creak, bop. I'm looking at the ceiling tiles. They're vibrating. Dust is falling like snow. If the roof goes? No, the roof will hold. It was built in the 80s. They used too much steel back then. It's solid. I need to tell you about sleep again. I'm feeling it. It's a heavy weight on my eyelids. It feels so good to close them. It feels like a warm blanket. But it's a trap. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to pace around the room. I'm tethered to the console by my headset cord. I look like a dog on a leash walking in circles. 1 lap, 2 laps, 3 laps. My knees are popping. The fluid in my joints feels thick. I want you to check your carbon monoxide detectors. If you don't have one, you have to be extra careful. The symptoms are headache, dizziness, nausea. If everyone in the room suddenly has a headache, you are being poisoned. Open a window immediately. Just for a minute. Clear the air. Better to be cold for a minute than dead forever. I'm going to read another message from the text logs before the internet died. This one is from a guy named Ben. Ben wrote, "My fish tank froze. I watched the goldfish slow down and stop. They're just suspended in the ice. Do you think they will wake up when it melts?" I don't know, Ben. Some frogs can do that. They freeze solid and thaw out in the spring and hop away. Nature is miraculous. Maybe we're like the frogs. Maybe we just need to freeze and wait. But humans aren't frogs. We're soft. We're weak. We need machines to keep us alive. And right now, the machines are dying. I'm watching the signal strength of my own broadcast. The needle is dipping. The antenna on the roof is probably covered in 6 inches of ice. It's struggling to push the signal out. If the static gets loud, don't adjust your radio. It's me. It's the storm. I'm going to play something loud. Rock and roll. Something with drums. I need the drums to wake me up. I need to feel the beat in my chest. Marcus is taping the last box to the wall. He looks like a mummy wrapped in blankets. He gave me a thumbs up. A slow, shaky thumbs up. We are still here. We are still fighting. Crank up the volume. Let the neighbors hear it. Let the wind hear it. Let's make some noise in the quiet. This is Elias Thorne. Don't let the fire go out. The music stopped. The silence is back. It rushes in like water filling a hole. My ears are ringing from the drums, but underneath the ringing, there's that sound again. The wind. It's relentless. It doesn't breathe. It doesn't take a break. It just pushes. I'm holding the microphone with both hands now, not to steady it, but to warm my hands. The mesh grill of the mic is slightly warmer than the air because of the electronics inside. It's a tiny bit of heat, ghost heat, but I'm clinging to it. The thermometer on the wall, I don't want to look at it, but I have to. It's just above freezing in here, 33 degrees. We are losing the room. The cardboard Marcus put up is helping. I can feel a slight difference near the walls, but the cold is coming from the floor. It's coming from the ceiling. The building is a giant ice cube, and we are just 2 little bugs trapped in the center. I want to talk about the paradox. This is important. Listen to me. This is life or death. There is a thing that happens when you get too cold. It's called paradoxical undressing. Your brain gets confused. The nerves that control your blood vessels break down. Suddenly, instead of feeling freezing cold, you feel hot. You feel like you were brunning up. You feel like you were on a beach in August. So, you take off your clothes. If you look around the room and you see someone taking off their jacket, tackle them. Don't ask them why, just tackle them. Wrap them up. Sit on them if you have to. They are in the final stages of hypothermia. Their brain is lying to them. If they take off their clothes, they die in minutes. If you suddenly feel hot, if you suddenly feel a wave of warmth wash over you and you want to unzip your coat, stop. Scream. Bite your tongue. Do anything to snap out of it. It's a lie. The cold is tricking you into surrendering. I'm looking at Marcus. He's sitting on a pile of acoustic foam panels we ripped off the walls. He's not moving much. He's staring at his boots. I threw a piece of chocolate at him a minute ago. It hit his shoulder. He didn't flinch. He just slowly picked it up and ate it. He's slowing down. We are both slowing down. I have a report here from the shortwave radio. It's from a guy named Victor. He's a security guard at the city zoo. He's trapped in the main office. Victor says the silence in the zoo is the worst part. Usually you hear the lions, the monkeys, the birds. Tonight, it's dead silent. He said he went to check on the tropical house. The glass roof, it couldn't take the weight of the snow and the thermal shock. It shattered. He didn't say anything about the animals. He didn't have to. If you have exotic pets, lizards, birds, keep them on your body. Put the lizard in your shirt. I know it's weird, I know it scratches, but they are cold-blooded. They have no internal heater. You are their heater now. If you leave them in their cage, even with a blanket over it, they will fade away. I'm looking at the signal meter for the station. It's wavering. The needle is bouncing between 80% and 60%. That means ice is building up on the transmitter dish on the tower. The wind is shaking it. If that dish twists just a few degrees, the signal beam will miss the city. I'll be talking to empty air. If my voice gets fuzzy, if I drift into static, don't think I'm gone. Just assume I'm still here, still talking, still fighting. I want to tell you about the bridge, the suspension bridge to the north. I can see a sliver of it on the one working traffic camera. Bridges freeze before roads. You learn that in driving school. But this is different. The cables on the bridge are coated in ice. They look like thick white ropes. The weight must be immense, thousands of tons of extra weight. I can see cars abandoned on the bridge, doors open. People must have tried to walk. Do not walk on bridges. The wind on a bridge is 10 times worse than on the street. There is no shelter. You are exposed on all sides. If you are stuck on a bridge in a car, stay in the car. Do not get out. The car is a metal bubble. It blocks the wind. If you get out on that bridge, the wind chill will freeze your skin in seconds. I'm rubbing my face. My beard feels stiff. There's ice in my beard from my own breath. I have to break it off. It pulls the hair. It hurts. Good. Pain is good. Pain means the nerves are still working. Let's talk about light. If you have candles, be careful. I know I said fire is life, and it is, but a candle is a small flame. It doesn't give off much heat, but it does give off light, and light is hope. Put a candle in a jar. It reflects the light, makes it brighter. It also protects the flame from drafts. If you have mirrors, put the candle in front of the mirror. Double the light. Trick your brain into thinking it's brighter than it is. Depression is a killer tonight. The dark makes you want to give up. Make your own sun. I'm going to check the chat logs again. Maybe something new came through before the last router died. Here's one, from a woman named Elena. My contacts froze to my eyes. Oh God. If you are wearing contact lenses, take them out now, right now. The moisture in the lens can freeze. It can damage your cornea. Put on your glasses. If you don't have glasses, squint. Do not risk your eyes. You need to see to survive. I'm drinking the last of my water. It's slushy. I have to chew it. It hurts my teeth. I can feel the cold slide down my throat and settle in my stomach. It makes me shiver. I'm going to stand up again. I have to pee. This is a problem. The bathroom is down the hall. It's colder in the hall, and the toilet is frozen. The water in the bowl is a solid block of ice. I'm going to use a bottle. I'm sorry if that's too much information, but we have to be practical. Don't hold it in. Your body uses heat to keep that urine warm. If you pee, you save heat. It's physics. Empty the tank. And this is gross, but it's survival. That bottle is now a hot water bottle. Put it in your sleeping bag. Put it at your feet. It's 98 degrees of heat. Don't waste it. Use everything. I'm looking at the window again. The crack I saw earlier has grown. It's creeping across the glass like a snake. I can hear it. It's a slow, ticking sound. I'm going to put some duct tape over the crack. It won't stop the glass from breaking, but it might hold the pieces together if it shatters. It might stop the wind from blasting into the room all at once. Hold on. I'm grabbing the tape. Okay, I'm back. The tape is on. The glass felt so cold it burned my fingertips. They're throbbing now. That's good. Throbbing is blood. Blood is life. I want to talk to the people in the high-rises, the penthouses. You guys are in the worst spot. Heat rises, yes, but wind speed increases with height. The wind up there is stripping the heat away faster than it can rise, and you are swaying. Go down. Go to the interior stairwells. Go to the middle floors, the sandwich floors. Let the floors above you and below you act as insulation. The lobby is bad. Too much glass, too many doors. The roof is death. The middle is safety. Find a hallway on the 10th floor. That's your sweet spot. I'm feeling a little dizzy. I think I stood up too fast. Or maybe it's the lack of food. I'm going to eat another piece of that candy bar. It's hard to unwrap. My fingers are like sausages. They don't want to grip the wrapper. I'm using my teeth. There. Chocolate. Peanut butter. It tastes like nothing. My taste buds are numb, but I know it's food. I'm thinking about the summer. I'm thinking about a barbecue I went to last July. I was complaining about the heat. It was 90 degrees. I was sweating. I was swatting flies. I was drinking a cold beer and complaining that it was getting warm too fast. What an idiot. I would give anything to be sweating right now. I would give anything to be uncomfortable in the heat. If we make it through this, if the sun comes back, I promise I will never complain about being hot again. I will wear a sweater in July just to celebrate. I'm checking the military bands. Still silent. No, wait, not silent. There is a beacon, a repeating signal. Its coordinates. Latitude? Longitude? I'm writing them down. It looks like Florida? The signal is coming from Florida. It's a Navy beacon. If the Navy is signaling from Florida, maybe it's warmer down there. Maybe the freeze didn't hit the South as hard. But Florida is 1,000 miles away. We can't get there. The roads are graveyards. The airports are ice rinks. But it's nice to know there's someone else transmitting. It's nice to know there's a somewhere else. I'm going to play a voice message I saved on the computer. It's from my mom. She sent it a week ago. Just a normal voicemail. Hey Elias, just checking in. Make sure you eat something green today. Love you. Eat something green. I'm looking at the vending machine in the hallway. There's a bag of veggie chips. That's green, right? I'm going to wake Marcus up. He's slumped over too far. His head is on his chest. It looks uncomfortable. It looks like he passed out, not fell asleep. Marcus! Hey! Marcus! I'm shouting at him. He's moving. He's groaning. Okay, he's awake. He's mad at me. Good, be mad. Anger is heat. He's rubbing his arms. He says his hands feel like they are full of needles. That's the blood coming back. It hurts like hell. Keep rubbing, Marcus. Don't stop. We're going to do a drill. I call it the stomp.
The crackling fire recording has stopped. The silence is back, but it feels heavier now. It feels like a physical weight pressing against my eardrums. I tried to imagine the heat, like I told you to. For a second, I almost felt it. I almost smelled the wood smoke. But then the draft hit the back of my neck, and the illusion shattered. We are not by a fire. We are in a box of concrete and steel, and the world outside is trying to turn us into statues. I checked the time on my watch. It took me a minute to focus on the little hands because my vision is getting blurry. It is 5:30 a.m. This is the dead zone. This is the hour of the wolf. It's that time of night when the body naturally wants to shut down. Your metabolism drops. Your heart rate slows. It is the hardest time to stay awake. If you are struggling right now, if your head is nodding, stand up, pinch yourself, bite the inside of your cheek. Do not let the wolf in. I am looking at Marcus. He is awake, but barely. He is staring at the red light on the console like it's a campfire. He's rocking back and forth, a tiny motion. Forward, back, forward, back. That's good. That's movement. That generates a tiny bit of heat. I want to talk about your feet again. I know I mentioned them before, but this is crucial. If your boots are tied tight, loosen them. I know that sounds wrong. You want to seal the heat in, but if your boots are tight, you are cutting off the blood flow to your toes. You need circulation. Warm blood needs to get down there. If your boots are tight, your feet will go numb and then they will freeze. Loosen the laces. Let the blood move. If you have extra socks, put them on, but make sure your toes can wiggle. If your toes can't wiggle, you are wearing too much. There is a new sound outside. It's not the wind. It sounds like gunshots? No, it's too metallic. It's a sharp ping followed by a twang. It's the power lines, the high-tension wires that run above the streets. They are contracting in the cold. The metal is shrinking. They are pulling so tight that they are snapping. When a cable that thick snaps, it whips through the air with incredible force. If you are near a window and you hear that ping, get down. Those cables can slice through siding. They can smash windows. The grid is literally tearing itself apart. The infrastructure we built, the wires, the pipes, the rails, it was all designed for a specific range of temperatures. We built our world for a narrow little window of weather. We got arrogant. We thought the weather would always behave. Now the window is broken, and the world we built is incompatible with the new reality. I'm looking at the glass of the studio window again. The duct tape I put up is holding, but the ice on the outside is thick. It's not clear ice. It's milky. It's rough. It looks like the skin of a shark. It's layering up, inch by inch. Soon we won't be able to see out at all. We will be buried in a tomb of white. I have a thought about the basement people. If you are in a basement, be careful of the radon, be careful of the mold, but also look at your ceiling, look at the pipes running above your head. If those pipes freeze and burst, you are going to get wet, and in this temperature, getting wet is fatal. Move your sleeping area away from the water pipes, identify where the water main comes into the house and stay away from it. If you hear water rushing, don't try to stop it, just get away, get dry. I found something in my pocket, a lighter. A cheap yellow plastic lighter. I flicked it a few times. It sparked, but it wouldn't light. The fuel inside is too cold. It won't vaporize. I have to warm up the lighter in my hand for 5 minutes just to get a flame. That's how cold it is. The butane won't even turn into gas. If you are trying to start a fire and your lighter won't work, put it under your armpit. Warm it up. Don't throw it away. The machine works. It's just the physics that are broken. I'm going to check the signal scanner. I'm hoping to hear that Navy beacon again, the one from Florida. Nothing. Just static. The static sounds different now. It's not the white noise of an empty channel. It's got a crackle to it. Cosmic noise. Without the atmosphere protecting us, the radio waves from the sun and the stars are smashing into our antennas. We are listening to the sound of the universe, and the universe is loud and angry. Wait, I hear something on the AM band. It's very faint. It's fading in and out like a ghost. It's a voice, speaking Spanish? Yes, rapid Spanish, a man. He sounds panicked. He's shouting Mexico and nieve. Nieve means snow. Snow in Mexico? If it's snowing in Mexico, then this is it. This is the whole ball of wax. The entire hemisphere is under the blanket. There is no running south. There is no escaping to the beach. The beach is gone. This realization, it sits in my stomach like a stone. It means there is no rescue coming from the neighbors. The neighbors are drowning in the same boat. But oddly, it makes me feel calm. If there is nowhere to run, then I don't have to worry about running. I just have to worry about sitting here. My world has shrunk to this room. Your world has shrunk to your house. We don't have to save the world. We just have to save the room. That's a manageable goal. Save the room. I'm going to talk about food rationing. You might be hungry. I'm starving. My stomach is growling so loud I think the microphone might pick it up. But don't eat a huge meal. If you eat a huge meal, your body sends all the blood to your stomach to digest it. That pulls blood away from your fingers and toes. You will feel colder after a big meal. Eat small amounts, a few bites every hour. Keep the furnace fed, but don't choke it. Nibble like a bird. And don't eat protein if you can avoid it. Meat takes a lot of energy to digest. Eat carbs, crackers, bread, chips, candy. Quick burn, fast heat. Save the beef jerky for later. I'm looking at Marcus again. He's holding a picture in his hand. He took it out of his wallet. It's a photo of a little girl. His daughter, probably. He's rubbing his thumb over her face. That's the fuel we need. Not just calories, love. I know it sounds cheesy. I know I sound like a greeting card, but fear kills you. Fear makes you freeze up. Love makes you fight. If you are holding on to someone, you fight for them. If you are alone, fight for the memory of them. Fight so you can see them again. I'm going to share a story from a listener who texted right before the collapse. A woman named Sarah. She was in her car on the highway. Traffic was stopped. She said a truck driver was walking down the line of cars. He wasn't asking for help. He was giving it. He had a crowbar. He was smashing the windows of the empty cars and taking the floor mats. He was giving them to people in the other cars. Put these against the windows, he told them. Rubber insulates.
That trucker was a genius. Car floor mats. They are thick rubber and carpet. If you are in a car or even in a house, use the floor mats. Put them on the floor where you are sitting. Sit on the rubber. It stops the cold from the ground sucking the heat out of your butt. Genius. Simple, ugly genius. That's how we survive. I'm feeling a vibration in the desk. A low hum. Is it the generator? No, the generator has a rhythm. This is constant. It's the wind. The wind is hitting the building so hard that the steel is vibrating like a guitar string, a low bass note that you feel in your teeth. The structural integrity of these towers, they're engineering marvels, but metal gets brittle when it's this cold. It's called the ductile to brittle transition. At a certain temperature, steel doesn't bend anymore. It snaps like glass. I'm praying we aren't at that temperature yet. If the building snaps... Let's not think about that. I'm going to wipe the frost off the microphone again. It's building up fast. My breath is creating a little ice cave around the mic element. I want to talk to the people who are alone, the ones who don't have a Marcus. I am with you. Everyone listening to this is with you. We are a network of lights in the dark. You are not invisible. If you start hearing voices, if you start hearing people calling your name, that's the hypothermia affecting your brain. It's an auditory hallucination. Don't follow the voices. They will lead you outside. They will lead you into the cold. Stay where you are. Trust your eyes, not your ears. Well, trust my voice, but don't trust the voices in the hallway that aren't there. I'm going to check the thermometer. 31 degrees inside the studio. We have crossed the line. It is officially freezing inside the room. My water bottle is solid. If I turn it upside down, nothing moves. I have to keep moving. I'm going to stand up again. My knees hurt. My back hurts. My skin feels tight, like it's 2 sizes too small. I'm going to do the alphabet. I'm going to recite the alphabet backwards. It's harder than it sounds. My brain is sluggish. I had to stop and think about you. Okay, brain is still working. Mostly. If you are with kids, play games, word games. I spy with my little eye something white. Okay, bad example. Everything is white. I spy something square. Keep their minds working. A working brain burns glucose. Glucose creates heat. Thinking literally warms you up. I'm going to try to find some music. Not jazz this time. Something calm. Something steady. I found a classical track. Cello. A solo cello. It's deep and slow. It sounds like the building feels. Sad and strong. I'm going to play this while I try to find something to burn. We're running low on cardboard. I might have to start burning the manuals for the equipment. Paper